Thanks for tuning in. I'm Kim Stanley and you're watching Cox Connections only on Cox 9 Roanoke. At Cox, we pride ourselves on being on the cutting edge of technology. We offer a fiber optic network, phone, data, and video services to homes and businesses throughout the area. But one of the things we are most proud of is helping to give some young people in our area access to technology we sometimes take for granted. Cox Roanoke is continuing to work with our longtime partner, the Boys and Girls Club, to help bridge this digital divide. Joining me now to talk about the Cox Technology Center is Lori Givens, Chief Professional Officer for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southwest Virginia. Lori is also going to talk about another cool program the club offers, a laptop orchestra. Lori, good to see you.
Hi, Kim. Nice to be here.
Yeah, good to see you. Everything going well over at the Boys and Girls Club?
Just had our annual dinner and it was wonderful. We had lots of kids there participating and performing, and it was a great time.
Well, good. Well, the Cox Technology Center is up and running and been up and running for several months now. Tell us how the youth over there are utilizing the computer equipment and all the technology.
Well, it has been just wonderful and so much fun. The kids love having those computers available. They really count on the internet access that Cox provides for us because, you know, sometimes at home they don't have computers, and if they don't have a chance to use a computer lab in a school, then they know that they can come to us when they're doing their homework and they have access to those computers. And you know, I was walking through the club the other day and somebody said, "Miss Lori, you know, will you help me work on this project?" And I said, "Well, what do you need?" And she said, "I have to come up with a budget for a vacation, and I don't know where to look for airline tickets. I don't know how much they cost." And she'd never been on a plane, so we went to the computer lab and we got online and we looked at one of those, you know, air travel websites, and I showed her how to look up the cost of a flight to Orlando, which is where she wanted to go, to Disney World. So we did that in, you know, the blink of an eye, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so easy." And so it's just one little story, but there are many, many others. And it is in our teen center, as you know, but we do bring the other children in, and we have programming that's age appropriate for each one of those groups. And we actually have a tech specialist who works with all those kids. So, you know, we're doing some really good things with them now, and having that, especially the internet access on those 10 computers is really great.
Right, so it sounds like you've got the computer access, the internet, you know, do they have the print?
They do. We have a printer in the room for them, so they can print out whatever they need, particularly for homework. And you know, we're getting them involved in some other Boys and Girls Clubs online activities.
That's great.
There's a couple of art contests that they can do. Digital artwork, they can do digital photography, they can do web design, a couple of different things that are offered, and then they can compete with other Boys and Girls Clubs areas across the region and the country. So, you know, it's fun. The programs are provided by Microsoft to Boys and Girls Clubs of America, and then we get to utilize those.
That's great. So a lot of use with the technology. You guys are even doing something different also. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about the orchestra and explain that to our viewers?
Well, this past year we've collaborated with Virginia Tech, and actually it is Virginia Tech's program. They have one of 4 laptop orchestras in the country, and it's really exciting. Izo Bukvik is the name of the music professor, and he is so passionate about music. So he not only wanted to do this program with his college students, and most of them are music majors, but also reach out to the community. And so we have 10 of our students from our Roanoke Academy of Math and Science site that really learned how to operate a computer that plays music. And so Izo, at the concert, Izo is the conductor, and he programs the computers with a particular networking software, which of course I know nothing about, but The kids got to practice with his students for a few months. Then they were able to actually help put the speakers together, and the speakers were made out of red plastic salad bowls turned upside down with all the components inside. They cut out little holes and then of course put the speaker components in there. So the kids got to help and, you know, screw in the little pieces, and it was a wonderful experience for them. Now this coming April, within the next couple weeks, we're going to be starting the program again. And this coming April, we will have a concert, I believe it's April 7th, at the Jefferson Center, and April 8th at Virginia Tech, which is part of their Arts Fusion Festival.
Okay. Just doing the laptop orchestra.
Yes,
That's
and it's really interesting. The kids, they play with the little Wii command remotes, and that's how they get the music up and down or side to side, makes it go to different instruments. It's really kind of hard to explain, but it's so interesting, and it's a whole way of kids to understand the combination of technology and art.
Right, exactly. That is exciting. And this is your first year doing it, and it sounds like it was a great success and something you'll be looking at to continue.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. There's one thing I want to talk to you about, just because I think this club is so phenomenal, but I believe the Boys and Girls Club did a survey of alumni, and they found that 50% of them, and I'm going to read, said that the club saved their lives. Did that surprise you when you heard that?
It did. It did surprise me when I first started working for the club, going on 2 years ago. But now that I have been there, and I really see the grassroots effort that goes on in our clubs, I understand it. And I've gone through some real sensitive issues with some of our kids and our families, and having that place for those kids to go after school really does make a huge difference, and it does save lives.
It really does. You know, our senior vice president, Gary McCullum, he was a member of the Boys and Girls Club, and he says that all the time. And Cox is a big supporter of the Boys and Girls Club, because we do believe that preparing our youth is one of the most important things we can do. So I just think that statistic is phenomenal.
It is, and we really appreciate all the support we got from Cox and the rest of the businesses and individuals in the community that support us. It just keeps us going, and as long as we can open more centers and keep more kids coming, we will make a difference in our community.
We will. Thank you, Lori. Thanks for being on the show. Good to see you as always.
You too.
All right. Before you go, I want to personally thank you for choosing Cox Communications for your entertainment, information, and communication needs. We know you could have chosen another provider, but because you chose us, we promise to provide you with quality products backed up by a talented local team of professionals. I'm Kim Stanley, and I'll see you next time on Cox Connections.